Have you ever wanted to be a magical gunslinging priest of the sun? While I was recovering from being a part of the pandemic, I stumbled through a haze of Steam VR's recommendations and was slapped in the face with the greatest career change a 2-bit hack of a YouTuber like me could ask for: joining the Light Brigade. This ancient order provides you with a wonderful pairing of holy light magic and World War II guns to fight your way through a post-apocalyptic wasteland of darkness and corruption. Along your journey, you'll collect the souls of fallen enemies and other players, and purify them to empower yourself so that you can take on harder and harder challenges, or take up permanent residence in easy baby mode like me so you can feel like a god.
Whoops. God. If you're listening, I'm sorry for whatever it was that I did that made you hate me.
Out on your travels, you'll find various attachments for your guns, items like grenades and decoys that can give you an edge in combat, and scattered tarot cards that provide fun magical buffs like chance to ignore damage, enemies suck at aiming, or enemies are hypnotized into fighting for you and then robloxing themselves so they don't have to live with the shame of being beaten by someone playing on Recruit past level 20.
For the weapon. So now, I can...
Now, there's very little story and it's mostly hidden in vague, memory-like sequences that are really pretty but essentially glorified loading screens. The Brigade is sending you across a shattered world under a dying sun in order to find out what the hell is taking Dad so long to come back with the milk. The story isn't really the game's selling point though, it's the tense, tactile gameplay.
So if I... go to hell. Literally just smite him with the pistol for the insolence that he just did upon me.
But it's not just a simple shooter. There are roguelite elements everywhere. Every run, there's different loot, different enemies, and different traps. You have to adapt and strategize on the fly. My inventory is full. Do I want this decoy to draw their fire so I can move to cover and pick them off? Or a key so I can get a free card or attachment if I make it to the next outpost? Do I want a charm that gives an empowered homing shot once every 20 seconds? Or one that bounces between enemies? Do I want the card that makes enemies take longer to aim their shots? Or do I want one that gives me bonus damage for getting in close and playing risky? And when you die, you lose everything, except the souls that you've purified at the altars. It's so stressful, and I love it. Just a tiny detail that I love so much about this game: the cards, they're holographic, so they have a faux 3D look to the beautiful art drawn on each one. Like many things in this game, it's such an unnecessary detail, but adds so much to the aesthetic, and makes it that much more fun every time you find a new one and get to examine it up close. Also, when you collect the cards, they become tiny and float around your left wrist, while the souls you collect float around to your right. It's an effective little visual of your progress through the run when paired with the sight of your guns slathered in magical attachments and your inventory belt stuffed with items and ammo. When you finish a run, you head back to your base camp to spend skill points you've earned on a mixture of permanent upgrades and class upgrades, increasing your health, upgrading your weapons, and more unique things like upgrading your prayer so it has a lower cooldown before you can reveal all the enemies and loot chests in a level. There are multiple classes to play, each with a primary and secondary weapon and a special buff. The starting class is a rifleman, using a semi-automatic rifle alongside a large headshot bonus to do massive damage at range. Every time you reach rank 5 on a class, it unlocks the next one, encouraging you to try new weapons and tactics and see what works best for your playstyle, while still earning skill points that can be spent for permanent upgrades, or to dump into whichever class you decide to settle on. There are 5 difficulty levels: Recruit, Templar, Cardinal Elite, and 2 others I've yet to unlock because I'm a lazy coward. There are also 2 game modes. The first is the main story mode, where you go through 20 preset zones that change each run, and 3 big boss fights. And then there's the Global Sun run, where every player in the world is currently running the same randomized seed of levels, collectively trying to survive as far as they can. It's also really interesting to see the not-quite multiplayer elements that seep into the gameplay there. For starters, you can find the souls of fallen players and purify them for experience, as well as a chance for a free item or ammo. There's also a really cool mechanic where you can toss items into an altar and pray at it, and those items will be presented to another player somewhere around the world by an NPC with your name on it. It's such a fun little detail that makes you feel a little less alone in your fight against the corruption.
Dome the Generous!
The Light Brigade is available now on PSVR 2, Steam VR, and MetaQuest 2 for $25 US. It's an incredible addition to any VR enthusiast playlist, and a wonderful challenge for anyone that's braver than me.
Into the depths you will go as many times as it takes to save us. You know, when you say it like that, it makes it sound like a lot of work.